Hello, welcome to WFNY Radio, the station created to start a financial evolution in your mind and pocket. Thanks for joining the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor presenting information that will shift your thinking on how you can own a home or invest in one. Today's topic, I'm going to be discussing something that is common in most households, and that is pests, particularly rats and roaches. Many homes do have them, but if your home has accumulated too many, then that will decrease the value of your home. Some people have already been noted as being allergic to both pests. So it's important when you see one to try as quickly as possible, get rid of them before they bring a family or create their own family within your property. Not only that, rats and roaches love to attack your electrical work. They love to, rats particularly love to chew on wires, and roaches are known to hatch their eggs inside of appliances. See, both of them, they are attracted to homes, particularly this time of year, for the heat. They don't like the cold at all. So now is the time in which they are looking for a warm place to stay, especially one that has food and water. Well, just so you know, those of you in New York City, the city has been cracking down on businesses and how they maintain their properties. They are no longer, particularly restaurants, are no longer allowed to pour oil, cooking oil, down in the drains because they found that that was what was attracting mice and rats to come up out of the sewer and onto the streets. Businesses are also now required to power wash the sidewalks with vinegar. The health department is now in charge of trying to control this citywide problem. So if you see a place that is overridden with roaches, particularly more with rats, then you need to contact the health department. They do issue fines between $300 to $2,000. Now, let's discuss ways in which we can eliminate them. Well, first, many of you may call an exterminator. When you do, you have to watch them and make sure they're doing the job properly, especially if it's an outdoor situation. We had hired an exterminator to get rid of rats in our community garden. And at first they were gone, and then we noticed that they were still around. Well, one day we saw that the person that was hired as an exterminator, instead of putting the poison down into the holes like he was supposed to, he was just making holes and then putting rocks on top of it. That was not what the city paid for. So unfortunately, with some contractors, you do have to watch them. You may not be able to look at them, monitor them all the time, but it does pay to take some time out of your day every now and then to make sure they're doing the job that you paid them to do properly. One of the things that some exterminators have done that I've noticed is they apply steel or metal wall patches on top of drywalls to cover up any holes that there are. Simply stuffing them with steel wool. Steel wool keeps them at bay for a while, but what I've noticed is that the rats will eat around that hole that has the steel wool and come in that way. So it's good to see if you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and try and see if you can buy one and install it yourself, or hire an exterminator that knows how to go about doing that. Now, if you do find that there are mice outside of your home, besides putting poison down into their holes where their nests are, you want to keep your area clean, because if they smell any urine or if they smell any excrements, whether it's theirs or their family members, they know that your area is the area that they can come into. Once you clean the area, if it's a hole, you may want to definitely, besides poison, also put down pebbles and gravels into that hole, because their feet don't like to walk or climb on that particular material. And if you do find any nests, you can simply take a shovel and flatten out the nests to discourage them from coming into your property. Now, one of the most effective ways to get rid of mice is to use dry ice. Unfortunately, it's not legal in all states of the United States of America. In New York, it's legal, but only a licensed exterminator is allowed to apply it. And many of them will not apply it if it is, the dry ice has to be 10 feet away from the property, or else it will destroy the foundation. So that's one of the reasons why some exterminators don't like to put it down. And the reason why some states want you to have a licensed exterminator to put it down is because if you put down too much, then you may kill dogs and cats. So that's why in New York and some other states, they want an exterminator. You do have other states, I believe Chicago is one, where you don't have to have an exterminator do it. You can do it yourself. But I just want to caution you, if you are in a state where it is legal, to please be careful when you are applying it. The other thing that I notice that rodents don't like are different forms of mint. But you have to be careful when you are planting mint in your gardens, because mint is an invasive plant and it will take over the whole place, killing all of your other plants. So with mint, you have to put that into a pot. Another plant which acts as a poison is euphorbia root. When they eat that plant, it actually makes them explode. So that is not a plant that I would suggest you have inside of your house. Again, that's a plant that I would suggest that you plant outside of your home. Another plant that they do not like, they really don't like the smell of it. It doesn't do anything to them as far as killing them if they eat it, but they won't eat it. And that's the Imperial crown royal. It's shaped like an upside down daffodil. Now, it does not grow across the entire United States. It does not grow naturally in New York. You have to buy particular soil and you have to put it in a pot. If you put it in the ground, then it will not come up. However, what I have noticed is that even just having the bulbs around will deter many of them from trying to come into your property. The other thing is, if you do have a garden, you want to turn the soil over every 1 to 2 years to prevent mice and rats from building nests in your property. You also want to keep your weeds down. You want to pull them when you can, because high weed density attracts them to your property. And if you are an older person, please note that the Department of Aging can send someone to your home to help you when it comes to pulling out weeds. Another plant that is good, this one is good for roaches actually, and that's lemongrass and lemon balm. You can grow that here in New York, but again, I advise you to check to see if you are in another state, if those plants can grow in the ground or if it's better to grow in a pot, because some plants grow in certain states, but they unfortunately are not able to grow in other states. What you can do, by the way, with lemongrass and lemon balm is you can grind it up, add it to water, and spray it around your house. It will keep roaches at bay. It's also good actually for fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes as well. So it is a plant that you can grow both inside and outside of your home. When you're purchasing seeds, especially the mint, you want to look for heirloom seeds and not the unnatural ones, because it's the pure mint that they don't like. And some of the seeds that are processed, they've taken away the essence of the plant. And it's that essence of the plant that repels the mice. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing seeds, not only for mice and rats to keep them at bay from your property, but also any seed, even the seeds like tomatoes and what have you that you grow to eat for yourself. It's better when the seed is a heirloom seed as opposed to one that has been processed. And on top of that, please remember, in the summertime, clean your grills. And in the winter, when you're in your house, every now and then, please clean your stoves, your grills. Because cleanliness, as many used to say, cleanliness is next to godliness. That's actually a saying. It's not in the Bible, but it does repel and it does work against both rats and roaches. So guys, that's all I have for you tonight. Hopefully the information will inspire you to reboot your mind, reset your focus, and make smart financial moves. Feel free to pass it along. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.